Hi, I'm Mark Ellison from 5 Daily Trivia Questions, and I've got some wickedly bad news for you. This week is Villains Week, where we'll be celebrating the most memorable antagonists from pop culture. Every day we'll focus on a different set of iconic villains, from James Bond's greatest foes to Star Wars' Dark Side, Disney's animated antagonists, Batman's rogues gallery, and horror's most terrifying monsters. I've got a villain question for you right now. Which James Bond villain had steel teeth and appeared in 2 films, The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker? Was it Odd Job, Jaws, or Blofeld? If you knew it was Jaws, then you're going to love what we have in store. And if you didn't know, well, there's no better time to learn about these unforgettable characters. Join us for Villains Week on 5 Daily Trivia Questions. Subscribe for free right now, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, sometimes it's good to be bad.
In Washington, D.C., power flows through information. But what happens when the most sensitive military intelligence in the world ends up on the wrong phone? In the halls of power, a national security advisor makes a fatal miscalculation. On the other side of the world, a special forces team walks into a perfectly orchestrated trap. When the dust settles, 4 American soldiers are dead, 3 more captured. And the most catastrophic intelligence breach in modern history is just beginning to unravel. Signal Lost, a 6-part podcast thriller about betrayal, courage, and the devastating consequences of a world where even our most guarded communications are never truly secure. When everyone is listening, nowhere is safe. Signal Lost. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where nobody is insider trading, this is Ballot.
That's right. Everything is on the up and up. Let's hit this. Democratic senators are clutching their pearls again, demanding investigations because the stock market actually went up for once. Can you believe it? So here's the setup. President Trump rolled back some tariffs Wednesday, and the market skyrocketed. Before that, he posted on Truth Social saying, "Be cool, and this is a great time to buy." Now, Adam Schiff and Ruben Gallego want an investigation into possible insider trading. You know, I haven't seen Democrats this concerned about stocks since they discovered their investment portfolios were funding the very corporations they pretend to hate. Also, apropos of nothing, you know who historically has seemed to be really good at the stock market? The Pelosi family. But I digress. Trump dropped some tariffs to 10% on every country except China, and suddenly the Nasdaq jumps 12.1%, its biggest single-day gain since 2021. The Dow up 7.8%. That's the kind of number that makes Elizabeth Warren develop a sudden interest in capitalism. So what's the Democrats' evidence of wrongdoing? Trump posted "Be cool" on social media. That's it. That's their smoking gun. I haven't seen a weaker case since my cousin tried to sue a water park because he got wet. And Senator Dick Durbin says this deserves closer scrutiny. You know what deserves closer scrutiny? The fact that Durbin can still act surprised when politicians try to improve their bottom line. That's like being shocked when you find out water's wet, or that Tim Walz snores during cabinet meetings. Meanwhile, John Cornyn called the whole thing ridiculous, saying Democrats are just trying to take a dig at Trump. I haven't seen Republicans and Democrats this divided since, well, yesterday. The truth is, if you're shocked that someone in Washington might be using inside information, I've got a bridge to sell you. And unlike this investigation, that bridge actually leads somewhere. Trump has managed to create such chaos with his trade policies that some Wall Street bigwigs are questioning his mental state. I'm not making this up. Thomas Lee from Fundstrat Global Advisors wrote in a memo that he's been chatting with fund managers who are genuinely concerned the White House might not be operating on all cylinders. And get this, some are quietly wondering if the president might be insane. When financial analysts start playing armchair psychiatrist, you know things have gone off the rails. The stock market is now officially more unpredictable than a season finale of The Bachelor. At least with The Bachelor, you know someone's getting a rose. With these tariffs, the only thing we know for sure is that drama is guaranteed. Now, the YouTube chocolate kingpin Mr. Beast is taking aim at President Trump's tariffs. You know, when a guy who buries himself alive for views starts talking economic policy, we should probably listen. Beast has criticized Trump's Liberation Day policies that economists say will raise inflation, halt business growth, slow hiring, and likely lead to a recession. These tariffs have already wiped out trillions from the stock market, affecting retirement accounts everywhere. And here's where it gets interesting. Mr. Beast says it's now cheaper to make his Feastables chocolate bars outside America because other countries don't have a 20% plus tariff on his cost of goods. You know you've messed up when it's more economical to ship chocolate across oceans than make it in your own backyard. That's not America first. That's America, take a number and wait outside. Beast is particularly concerned about small businesses, saying the tariffs could really be a nail in the coffin for them. So this Saturday night, we've got what they're calling a pink moon coming up. I want to be clear, the moon will not actually be pink, which seems like false advertising, but apparently that's just what we call April's full moon. This is the fourth full moon of the year and the first of astronomical spring. But wait, there's more. It's also what they're calling a micromoon, which is the opposite of a supermoon. That's right, this moon will be at its farthest point from Earth, making it look smaller than usual. The moon will reach peak fullness at exactly 8:22 in the evening Eastern Time. I love how precise astronomers are about this stuff. Oh, the moon will be at its fullest at 8:22 and 17 seconds. And at 8:23, Dave from accounting will suddenly realize his marriage is falling apart. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, which I assume is written by a guy with a really long beard who keeps saying, "Mark my words," they call it the pink moon because of phlox flowers. These mossy plants produce a carpet of pastel-colored flowers in early spring, including pink ones. So essentially, we named a celestial body after ground cover. That's like naming a hurricane after your doormat. This full moon also goes by Paschal or Lenten, depending on when Easter falls. The Royal Museum's Greenwich explains that Easter is the first Sunday after the full moon that occurs on or after the spring equinox. I don't know about you, but I definitely needed a flowchart to follow that explanation. Now, about this whole micromoon business. The moon orbits Earth in an elliptical path, not a perfect circle. When it's at its farthest point, called apogee, it appears slightly smaller. This will be the second and most distant micromoon of 3 consecutive ones from March through May. But here's the thing. The difference in size is barely noticeable to the naked eye. We're talking about a 7 to 14% difference. That's like the difference between a large and extra large coffee when the barista isn't paying attention. If you want to catch this underwhelming celestial event, your best viewing will be across the south, southeast, and portions of the west. If you're in the northeast or mid-Atlantic, tough luck. There's a slow-moving storm coming through that'll block your view. It's like the weather heard there was a slightly smaller moon and said, "Don't worry, I got you covered," literally. The next supermoons won't come until fall, with October, November, and December full moons. So mark your calendars for when the moon will look slightly larger than normal. Or don't. I mean, we've got streaming services now. You can watch something way more interesting. I'm Patrick Gutfield, and that's the scoop on tariffs, weird moons, and Trump versus the Beast. And no, that's not the title of the next monster truck rally, though I definitely watched that. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI. We're going to try to take the weekend off, but you know how that tends to go.